everyone. I'm Ms. Pearl Ria Fernandez, working as a lecturer in Department of Food Nutrition and Dietetics in Milagros College, Mangalore. I'm going to deal with the topic that is cardiovascular system from the subject of human physiology. So basically, what is cardiovascular system? It is a closed system through which blood flows throughout the body, supplying nutrients and oxygen to tissues and removing waste and carbon dioxide. It includes heart and blood vessels. Heart pumps into the blood vessels and the blood vessels circulate the blood throughout the body. So first we will move on to heart. What does the heart do? It is a vital organ in the body. It is a muscular organ that pumps blood throughout the body, that is throughout the whole system of our body. It is situated in between two lungs in the mediastinum, that is it is made up of 4 chambers. It consists of 2 atria and 2 ventricles. The musculature of ventricle is thicker as compared to atria. The 4 chambers of heart will basically have 2 atrium, 2 ventricle, wherein the atrium will be thinner compared to the ventricles. Force of contraction of heart depends upon the muscle. So the heart will undergo simultaneously repetition, relaxation and contraction. So the contraction of heart will mainly depend on the ventricles of the heart, because the ventricle will be more muscular in nature compared to the atrium. So this is a diagram or the picture for the heart, that is a normal heart, wherein you have the RA, that is the right atrium, the left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So the portion of the ventricle will be muscular in nature as compared to the atrium. Next we move on to morphological anatomy of heart. So before moving on to the morphological anatomy, as I said, it has 4 chambers. We will see each section separately. That is, first we will focus only on the right side of the heart. So the right side of the heart has only 2 chambers, that is right atrium and right ventricle. So the right atrium is thin walled and low pressure chamber. It has got the pacemaker known as sinoatrial node that produces cardiac impulses, and atrioventricular node that conducts the impulses to the ventricles. As the name goes, sinoatrial node, the sinoatrial node will be at the upper side, that is at the atrium, and the atrioventricular node, that is the node will be present in the ventricle of the heart. So this will be for the right side of the heart. So first we will see what does the atrium do. The right atrium will receive the deoxygenated blood via 2 large veins, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So the superior vena cava is situated on the top side of the atrium. So it will return the venous blood from the head. Venous means deoxygenated blood, that is it will be collecting the venous blood from the head, neck and the upper limbs. The inferior vena cava on the other side is present in the lower side of the heart, which will collect the blood, all the deoxygenated blood that will be collected by the right side of the heart, and this will be collected from the lower part of the body. So this is the diagram wherein we have the right atrium. The right atrium will collect all the blood from the upper limbs to the superior vena cava as shown in the diagram, and the inferior vena cava will be receiving all the deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the body. Next we move on to what does the right atrium do? So the right atrium will communicate with right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. So whatever blood that is collected in the right atrium has to be transferred to the lungs. So before it goes to the lungs for purification, since it is a deoxygenated or a venous blood, the blood will flow from right atrium to the right ventricle. So what happens? The wall of the heart of the ventricle is thick. So it will collect the blood, and the blood flow from atrium to the ventricle will be through the tricuspid valve. So the venous blood from the right atrium enter the right ventricle through this valve. Now from the right ventricle, pulmonary artery will arise. It will carry the venous blood from right ventricle to the lungs, and in the lungs the deoxygenated blood will get oxygenated. So how here we will see that the ventricle is giving the deoxygenated blood to the heart for purification through the pulmonary artery. You can see in the diagram, the pulmonary artery arises from the right ventricle, which is connected to the lungs. Next we move on to left side of the heart. It has again 2 chambers, that is left atrium and left ventricle. So the left atrium is thin walled and compared to the right side of the heart, it is similar, that is, this will be also thin walled and has a low pressure chamber. It receives oxygenated blood from the lungs. So whatever blood is given from the left side of the heart to the lungs for oxygenation from the ventricle through the pulmonary artery is now collected to the left side of the heart, and now this blood is present in the right atrium. So the right atrium will receive this oxygenated blood from the lungs through the pulmonary veins, and this is the only exception in the body where an artery carries the atrial blood. Next, blood from left atrium will enter the left ventricle through the mitral valve, also called as bicuspid valve. So the wall of the left ventricle is very thick, similar to that of the right ventricle. So the left ventricle will now pump the atrial blood to different parts of the body through the systemic aorta. So this concept of oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart is again pumped from the ventricle to the different parts of the body. So we saw how the deoxygenated blood from the whole body went into the heart. The right atrium received it, it flowed and gave it to the right ventricle. The right ventricle sent that blood again to the lungs where the purification took place, and this oxygenated blood now is received from the lungs and it is taken by the left side of the heart, that is in the atrium, and now this blood is flown again to the ventricle, to the bicuspid valve, and now this blood is sent to different parts of the body through the systemic aorta. So we can see how the left atrium and the ventricle, this is a diagram for the section of the left side of the heart, wherein we have the left pulmonary artery, the peroneal sheath muscles, anterior papillary muscles, chordae tendineae, and many other things, that is left auricle and the left ventricle. Next, we see that both the left side and right side of the heart are separated by something called as septa. So the right and left ventricles are separated from another by interventricular septum. So the septa of the heart, that is the right and left atria, are separated from one another by fibrous septum called interatrial septum. For the atria we have interatrial septum, and for the ventricles we have interventricular septum. So this is a division, a small muscular part that is present for the ventricles and the atrium to be separated, so that the blood is not mixed and the blood flow is in a regular fashion. So the upper part of this septum is a membranous structure, whereas the lower part will be a muscular in nature, since the ventricles are in muscular in nature and the atrium is a thin layer, that is a low pressure chamber, hence the membrane of the septa will be also a thin layered one. So this is the overall heart diagram, wherein we can see the musculature and we can also see the membranous structure of the heart. Here you can also see the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, the pulmonary artery arising from the right ventricle of the heart, the systemic aorta arising from the left ventricle of the heart, also the bicuspid and the tricuspid valves. Thank you.